Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the middle of the week. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to a return of reading Bible verses, reading the Bible. And who is here to present it? Me, your host, Stuart Davis, the flawed man of God, a humble parishioner at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. I'm not a pastor, not a biblical scholar, and I haven't been to seminary. Not here to get you to try to, not hearing, I'm not here to try to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. I am here to try to get this intro right. Just not a pastor, not a biblical scholar. I haven't been to seminary. Just here to talk about the Bible, talk about Christianity, talk about God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Talk about many different topics, issues, and current events, and give you my perspective on them. And one that I think is reflective of your average Christian guy. I've been a Christian all my life, 41 years, non-denominational Protestant. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination. I'm just in the Word daily, trying to get it right each and every day. Sometimes I'll get it right, often I'll get it wrong, but no matter what, if you are tuning into this show, you will be getting my honest takes and opinions on whatever it is that we're talking about. So if you are somebody who is new to Christianity or maybe looking to see if Christianity is what's right for you, you feel like something's missing in your life, and you think that Jesus might be the reason. Spoiler alert. It is. That's a simple answer, a simple one-word answer, but I get it. I'm just saying, yeah, you're right. But you need more than that. You need more than that. You need more than catchy, well-produced, professional TikTok, Instagram, YouTube shorts with contrived messages that are oftentimes wrong. You need more than hearing something from the pastor or a preacher or a priest because you're worried that they're professional. You're worried that that's the conflict of interest. And of course, they're going to tell you all this is because it's their job to do it. It's their job to do it. They get paid to do it. And if they don't, they get fired. It's their vocation. And thus, you don't want to hear it from the pulpit, but maybe you would like to hear it from somebody sitting in the pew next to you. Maybe somebody who has been doing this a while and can tell you what faith means to us, why faith is important to us, why we believe, and give it to you from the everyman perspective, the layperson perspective. Give it to you from a relaxed and comfortable environment where you can just listen, just absorb it, and if you need to, ask questions. Maybe get a couple of different other, maybe gather around a couple of other folks and hear what they have to say. Because this is not just for people interested in learning and becoming Christians. This is also for you guys who are already Christians and you just enjoy Christian topics or discussions. Maybe you just like to hear somebody reading the Bible. Sorry, you're getting it from me, but we're reading the Bible. You'll find that we've run this very similar to a Wednesday night study group or a Sunday school. It's a small group environment, small group mentality, small group style, and we have a small group here with us. And no matter whether you are looking at Christianity as an answer to questions and feelings of emptiness and insignificance, or you've been a Christian all your life, you're more mature in your faith than I am, you're more knowledgeable in the faith than me, or you're somewhere in between, doesn't matter. be part of this small group. And how might you participate in that? Be in the chat. We got a great group of folks who tune in and night out, and we'd love you to join them. They are awesome. They make this show markedly better, and you can be part of that as well. So just type in there. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Where am I right? Where do you think I'm wrong? What unique insights or experience do you have to whatever it is we're talking about? What's your opinion? What are your questions? If you put it in the chat, I'll read it and respond to it. And I would love to hear from you. And so, with that said, let's get into the show. Folks, last night, well, early evening, go up, help my daughter in the bathtub because apparently the faucet won't stop running. So I go in there. I was like, yeah, she probably just didn't turn it enough. No, the faucet's all the way closed and the water is just running fairly steadily. So, um, pop that thing open, get sprayed, but I knew I was going to. I left the water on because I wanted to see if I could tell where the water was leaking from. It's under pressure. Flew out at me. That's fine. Hot water leak. So I went downstairs at the water tank, was able to cut the hot water off without and close the leak without turning off the water to the rest of the house. This is the same, if you guys were listening around this time last year, the same bathtub that was giving me trouble last year. And I found out there's no trouble door. There's no access panel because the faucet's on the side of an exterior wall outside of the house. There's siding on the other side of this wall. So I don't have any access except for the small area. It's all tiled, so I'd have to bash it out. That's why I took the extreme route of leaving the water on. But once I turned the hot water off, was able to get out the stem, which I had just replaced last year. When I had a cold water leak, I replaced them both. I replaced both the cold water and hot water stems and valves. And I'll pull. This one just popped right off, which probably was part of the source of the issue. But the rubber bushing that is on the back of that was completely gone after a little less than a year of being in there. This happened, and so I went over to Lowe's, bought a new one, and put it in, and it stopped the leak for now. So I asked a buddy of mine on the softball team, who works for a contractor, to ask his plumbing buddies if he knew, did I install it wrong? What could cause that bushing to deteriorate so daggone fast? Anyway, after that, because I'd stressed out because it's going to be a lot of money to fix all that. Eventually, that whole bathtub has to come out, and we're going to have to retile the whole thing. It's just going to be a whole ordeal, and it's not going to be cheap. So while I'm stressing over that, as dads do, I finally just say, all right, one step at a time. Got the leak stopped. Good. We'll go from there. And I was just like, I'm not ready to stream. I can just sit down and eat right before I was supposed to be streaming. And I was just like, guys, I just needed data to chill, downtime. And thank you for being patient with me, as you guys always are. I appreciate it. Going through the chat, Veritax first tonight. Hey, how's it going, sir? Those who don't know, Blaine from Blaine's Escape Corner and Veritax both lost pets over the past couple of days. Very sad. So we're with them and their families. It sucks losing pets. Blaine didn't stream last night because of that. It's not good It's not fun. It's just not. You're just not in the mood. Sometimes you just need that time off. Veritex, hopefully, hopefully the family is doing better. Veritex says apparently RFK confesses that his brain was eaten by a worm and then died. The worm died or he died. He's also got mercury poisoning from too much tuna. Um, so, and this is me. I learned this at one point. Mercury content is present the higher up in the food chain s- uh, uh, seafood is. So, like marlin, tuna, shark, all them things have higher have bits of mercury in them, higher concentrations of mercury than other seafood does. And I don't know if you get. I mean, I don't know how much tuna he was eating. That's a lot of tuna. But when you're a Kennedy, you got tons of money. He probably had tuna a lot more than I do, which isn't often. It isn't often. But that'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if that's true. That whole thing with the worm and the brain and all that other stuff. Um, that said, time flies when you're taking a nap. Yes, feels that way. Alex Moore, good evening. He's here for the music. The music's over with, so he's probably got me. He's probably streaming 3 other shows, which he shouldn't. He should only stream mine. Jenny's here. What's going on, Jenny? How you doing? Yex is here. How's it going, sir? Hello. Jenny says, for me, after a challenging day, listen to Stu Reed, and I greatly appreciate this channel and the chat. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. I'm glad that me and the rest of the folks here um, can help you after a challenging day kind of unwind. The word of the Lord, even through even through me, as I say, a flawed man, uh, and a supportive, sometimes funny chat, um, can be a point of relaxation. So thank you. We appreciate you, Jenny. Lucifer, I'm in the worst pain right now and had to be sent home early because of my back. Ah, back pain sucks. Anyways, how's it going for you? I don't have back pain right now. So thankfully, somebody who was having some back pain a couple of weeks ago, it sucked. Do not like back pain. Haven't experienced it in like the spine, but in the muscles, low, right down there by the hips, just above the hips. Ugh. Ugh. But doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. Hoping you feel better. That's right. Lucy said, somebody tell Jacob I know what he meant by Israel. Well, I mean, I'll tell him whenever I see him. Hopefully they are in a better place. We were talking about that last night. Lucy said it's called being a Kennedy. I hear it's hazardous to one's health. Yeah, it's not safe. I guess it's that's the trade-off for being stupidly rich and oftentimes not very responsible about that. I know that the the tragedy of RFK Jr. or not RFK Jr. JFK Jr. when he died in the plane crash. A lot of people don't know this, but he did not know how to. He was only visually rated on his airplane. He was not instrument rated, which means he never went through train or he never passed the testing anyway, but likely didn't go through the training to learn how to use the instrument so that when you go through cloud or foggy conditions, which ultimately he did and what led to his crash, he did not know how to rely on his instrument gauges. You can't just look at them. There are things that go on your instruments based on the conditions that you're flying in, that you need to understand how to read them and understand what the instruments are telling you so that you don't crash like he did. This is um, part of some of the recklessness that we see, not just with the Kennedy family, but with families in general that don't often teach responsible behavior. Just go through the ground schools. You got time. You're ridiculously rich. It doesn't take but a few weeks to go through the course. Oh well. Sad, still tragedy. Still sad to see him go, but it's a cautionary tale, right? Emmanuel Soria, welcome, sir. Stuck at a self-storage waiting for a dude to drop off my cargo. Fun. I'm gonna send pics on Discord. I'll be listening in the background. Good. Alex said new mint mouthwash. Hi. What? Alex Moore, I must have missed Psalm 138, 139. There are some good quotes in those. In fact, we went over that there was a lot of oft used quotes in those. That was today's Wednesday. That was Monday's stream. I thought I saw you in the chat there. That plus it doesn't help when the 3-letter agencies want you dead. Well, you know, with JFK, there was a lot of tension between how he was interacting with at least one or more of those 3-letter agencies and how he's using them. Bay of Pigs, from what I have heard, was a Kennedy blunder that the CIA took personally. Now, how personally? I don't know. No. I said, or when you're a Kennedy, you have a terrible tendency to die. And look, we got the cake is a lie. Amen. Gosh, I love that game. Love that game. I need to get the orange box back. I love Portal. I love Half-Life 2. That's a great game series. And I'll never play Half-Life 3. I've resigned myself to that. And it hurts my heart deeply. No closure. No closure on that game and how it ended. I've thought about Hardwater Veritax, but I'm not sure. I mean, why wouldn't it affect the other places? And I don't want to invite trouble on that, but there's a lot of plumbing in this house. Yex saying Little Caesars is good, and I do not tolerate alternate opinions. All right. Little Caesars style pizza, Detroit style pizza, is amazing. All right. That is appropriately deep dish pizza. That is actual deep dish pizza, because Chicago style deep dish pizza isn't pizza. It's a casserole and it's disgusting. And it's too much dough. If you ever go to Detroit or places around Detroit and Michigan, and you get Detroit style pizza, it's like somebody who knows how to make pizza, or it's like gourmet Little Caesars. And I like Little Caesars too. I grew up on Little Caesars. Selenium is the cure for mercury poisoning, I believe. It's a cure for lead poisoning. I got a lot of Clinton fans or Clinton people who knew the Clintons who could use who could use a solution for lead poisoning. Anyway, all right. Oh, glad to hear you guys are doing all right. Lucy said, "Have you heard about the government super laser weapon? I hear they did a nice little test on Hawaii. They got a lot of that stuff going on. Rail guns, all that stuff, and a lot of it happens out there in the Pacific because there's just so much space to do it with. And Pearl Harbor is a great base because it's for them to kind of operate out of to do that, because yeah. Not $5 anymore, pepperoni and cheese. Well, here's the other thing, and Yex, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. The circle Little Caesars pizza is not good. The square Little Caesars pizza is good. Square pizza only at Little Caesars. They shouldn't even offer the other style. I'm so mad. Alex said we only stopped for gas now at Pearl standing orders since like end of Dub 2. Detroit, the land of Eminem and lots of paintball accidents. I'm glad you didn't say insane clown posse. All right. Where are we at? Psalm 140 tonight? Let's get this going. Come on. Got a good crowd here tonight. Prayer for deliverance from evil men. From evil men. It's times like these. Right? We don't, again, we get a little political here. And the fact that we understand that politics is part of a fallen world that we live in. And that politics corrupts people, changes people, and causes us suffering. But this is beyond just politics, but it all has kind of the political agendas and about in the world today. The players behind it. Evil men. Evil men. So perhaps this might be a psalm, and we will find out when we read it, if it is. If this is a psalm we can go to when we are frustrated by the powers that be that are trying to socially engineer us to think a certain way or interact with each other in a negative way as well. People who foment hatred amongst each other instead of love, even when we disagree between each other. It sucks that this is the society we live in, but it's also not new for us. The kind of the apparatus around us, yes, that is new with internet and communications being what they are, but people being at each other's throats is historically has happened historically many times. Um, but a lot of times that usually comes with bad situations, the civil wars in general, and other conflicts, other things that ruin, wreck, and destroy our lives. And we don't want that here. We don't want that anywhere, but it happens. And it is happening in other places, has happened throughout history, like I said. And, but there are people who drive that because they have their own agenda and their own plans, whether it's to make money, to gain power, or just because they hate the way another person is. Now, that's not to say that there aren't justified times to take up arms, or to a lesser extent, to fight, argue, debate, be in conflict with another viewpoint. Case in point, what society thinks is okay to do to kids these days. Fight for kids. Lucy said I was talking about the entire village that burned to the ground because they didn't sell the real estate to the certain people like Oprah. No, I didn't hear about this. Um, Lucy said, this psalm sounds nice for the government that continues to pump chemicals into our food, which Yex follows up with, ain't no chemicals in Little Caesars, though. I don't know. There's something in that crazy bread. Not gonna lie. There's got to be something in it. Lucy says, man, we got laser nuked by the elites because they couldn't get the free real estate. I don't know. If you're worried about the ocean levels rising, why would you want to buy property that close to the water? Deep dish one for lunch is fabulous. Yes, many times. Many such cases. Manuel story. The name of the psalm reminds me of Senator Palpatine. I love democracy. I love the Republic. Into we will now turn into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society. Who is it? Breen from Half-Life, since we were referring to Half-Life earlier. Was that the name? Dr. Breen in Half-Life 2? Notice how not a single blue object got burned or destroyed. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about it. Wood chipper and pigs are open 24/7. Yeah. Look, kids ain't safe. They are vulnerable. They are the whether born or unborn. Children are innocent and vulnerable, and it should be every human being's responsibility to make sure that they're okay and safe. Greek starts with "For the End," a psalm by David. Didn't we read that in an earlier one, "For the End," a couple of nights ago? I don't know. Oh man, the personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut, those were good. Look, I grew up on Pizza Hut buffet. I don't know about you guys. I grew up with Pizza Hut buffet. Buffet Pizza Hut, top tier. And I will say this: Pizza Hut breadsticks are better than Crazy Bread, but Crazy Bread is better than Papa John's breadsticks. And you are no, Lucifer, you're not doing this tonight. Domino's is the worst pizza chain, major pizza chain, period. They are disgusting. Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's, in that order. Actually, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, 5 feet of garbage, then Domino's. Gross. We're thinking of artificial chemicals, Veritax. 90s Pizza Hut. Yes. 90s Pizza Hut was the best. There is still a Pizza Hut, not the next city over in Petersburg, that still has, at least the last time I was in there, which was 4 years ago, was still decorated like the old Pizza Huts, still had the buffet. It was great. Ban yourself, Lucy, for these terrible, unchristlike opinions. Domino's is better than any of that. Yeah, that's what Jenny was saying. The price, like everything else, has gone up at Little Caesars. All right. Let's get into the psalm. Stop talking about pizza. That's salad for dinner tonight. And I'm full. I'm full because I had Mexican for lunch, so I'm full for most part. So salad was actually set me over the edge. But I love pizza. Same here, Thad. I like mom and pops, like individual pizzas. Stop getting me off topic. I don't know pennies. All right, stop. 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 You'll get me off topic. Prayer for the deliverance from evil men to the chief musician, a psalm of David. Okay, we need to get to this. Jenny needs to hear it tonight. All right. Jenny's had a challenging day, and uh, Lucifer's whining about his back. Deliver me, O Lord, from evil men. Preserve me from violent men who plan evil things in their hearts. They continually gather together for war. They sharpen their tongues like a serpent. The poison of asps is under their lips. Selah. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from violent men who have proposed to make my steps stumble. The proud have hidden a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set traps for me. Selah. I said to the Lord, you are my God. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. O God, the Lord, the strength of my salvation. You have covered my head in the day of battle. Do not grant, O Lord, the desires of the wicked. Do not further his wicked scheme, lest they be exalted. Selah. As for the head of those who surround me, let the evil of their lips cover them. Let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire, into deep pits, that they may not rise up again. Let not a slanderer be established in the earth. Let evil hunt the violent man to overthrow him. I know that the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and justice for the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks to your name. The upright shall dwell in your presence. Good stuff. Did not disappoint here in what we were expecting. This is precisely a psalm that we can bookmark for when the 24-hour news cycle frustrates us, whether it be a trial or an election or conflict, home or abroad, protests, attacks, death, destruction, or just people arguing like idiots. The intent to have us I guess cast aside our brotherhood, our community for opinions. This weakens us before the folks behind it. And usually, I talk about how David's kind of a meme here with the whole, uh, asking asking for help by people, the slanders or everything. We'll get to that in a second. But I'm just going to leave this up here. um, it's appropriate, and it probably was appropriate to him. It's kind of like listening to him talk about this is kind of like listening to Ike at the end of his presidency, warning about the military-industrial complex. Now, I'm not into the vast conspiracy about it, but I know there's a lot of money involved. And I know there's a lot of influence and lobbying and everything. And really honest with you, when it comes to money and power and stuff like that, that's what goes on in our government and in other governments. And that influences a lot of decisions, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So when you get frustrated, there is Psalm 140 for you. Deliver me, O Lord, from evil men. Preserve me from violent men who plan evil things in their hearts. They continually gather for war. They sharpen their tongues like a serpent. The poison of asps is under their lips. It's funny how it seems like based on who's in power, at least looking at this from a political sense in America, Dresden's not here. That's weird. Also, welcome, Texan Italian. Putting up the stop sign now. Um, Depending on which political party is in power, there's always a conflict, it seems, that benefits them. There's always, there's al- whether it's the Iraq War. There's Dresden. Hey, you didn't chat. Um, Whether it's the Iraq War or Iraq and Afghanistan or Syria not long ago or the Middle East and Ukraine, or let's go back, Bosnia, or let's go back, Somalia, or let's go back, Desert Storm, or let's go back. Always all the conflict in South America with the war on drugs. I'll read in a bit. Yex is probably going out to go get pizza after all this talk. Um, there's always one side that's for it and one side that's against it. And on one side is like, oh, they just want to go to war. And the other side is, oh, we have to. This is the bad guy. And then it switches. It switches. Have a good evening. Yex, God bless. Um, what changed? Other than who's in power and who's the bad guy. There was a time, and many of you might be old enough to remember this. There was a time where there was a Cold War between us and Russia. And the right was very much against, they were very much hawks on Cold War spending, and fighting the Russians and everything. And I'm not trying to moralize this. I'm not trying to tell you somebody was right and somebody was wrong. I'm noticing, right? I'm noticing a pattern here. Hawkish. The left was very much, there's nothing wrong with Russia. Russia's a communist nation that has stood up for the people, for the working class, downtrodden working class. They're not bad. We are the bad guys. We're constantly egging them on. A lot of the you'll even see the crap. What was the I can't think of it. KGB. KGB didn't even have to work to recruit spies during the 60s and 70s. It was that easy. It was that easy to infiltrate because it was that friendly. Now, Russia, which has not really changed only in name on what's going on there. It's still the same. Um, Less communist themes today, right? More sympathetic, still kind of hostile, still not friendly, but more sympathetic, more okay, more tolerant of them. Then the left is melting down about Russia. This happens, and it's weird. It's weird. But it feels like we're being played. Who Deliver me, O Lord, from evil men. Preserve me from violent men who plan evil things in their hearts. They continually gather together for war. They sharpen their tongues like a serpent. The poison of asps, which is a poisonous snake, I believe, if I remember correctly. Where's my... Any is asp is the modern Anglicization of the word aspis, which in antiquity referred to any one of several venomous snake species found in the Nile region. Aspis is a Greek word that means viper. There you go. This one right here, even more so than the title, Deliverance from Evil Men, really tells us there is nothing new under the sun. What we're dealing with now is not something new. It has existed for millennia, even in the time of David. And it kind of makes you wonder, considering some of the guys in David's court who we know who fought for the cause of Israel, but not always had the Lord's desire in their hearts. Just wanted to fight. They just wanted to kill, to the point where they murdered people incorrectly, wrongly, in cold blood, in order to foment more violence. So we've teased David a little bit about um this, but now it really hits home. Now we really kind of understand why this might be very serious to him, and why he has mentioned it so many times, because this is something that we are experiencing. I and I think Alex as well are veterans of a highly controversial war, much like Vietnam. And it makes it difficult as a Christian to reconcile what I did and whether it was right or wrong. At the time, I was very much convinced I was right. Now I'm not so sure. In a vacuum, yeah, think I'm right. But it's not a vacuum. War is not a vacuum. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from violent men who have purposed to make my steps stumble. The proud have hidden a snare for me, and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set traps for me. Selah. David's in power, all right, in all likelihood. Let's just assume this was written by David after he became king. He is leading this nation and dealing with this. We are citizens in a nation that we vote for those in power, which they didn't then. We vote for those in power, but then we are lower on the food chain, so to speak. We're not leaders. We're voters. We're constituency. But it still feels the same way. The media trips us up, makes us feel anger, frustration, and maybe we should have some degree of anger and frustration, but should we be so preoccupied with it as they want us to be? Should we be so glued to it? Disconnecting from the news, such a wonderful experience. And there are things to worry about, and there are things that we need to kind of keep current on. But walking away from it and only getting a bit of information feels healthy, spiritually healthy, because of this. God help me deal with the society that we live in. A society where voting power and decisions are shared with people who don't have the same moral compass that I did, who aren't guided by the Bible, who might feel, some of them might think they're being guided by biblical principle, but aren't. And maybe we aren't either in some cases. And there are others who are just in for the hedonism, the selfishness, and the vindictiveness of attacking your people you disagree with politically, instead of, I just want to do what's right. Dang it. I said to the Lord, you are my God. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. O God, the Lord, the strength of my salvation, you have covered my head in the day of battle. Do not grant, O Lord, the desires of the wicked. Do not let his wicked scheme, do not further his wicked scheme, lest they be exalted. You have protected me in the past, God. To me in the past, God, continue to do so. You and your great wisdom and might and power protected me. Do not allow these men to find success, or to be successful in their schemes and their desires. As for the head of those who surround me, let the evil of their lips cover them. Let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire and into deep pits, that they may not rise up again. Let not a slanderer be established in the earth. Let evil hunt the violent man to overthrow him. Bring your wrath down upon them. The head of those, the things that they say and the things that they do, the slanderer is mentioned. This is not just deeds, physical actions like shooting an arrow or swinging a sword. This is the talk, the poisonous words that get us into bad situations. Foment distrust and anger and hatred. I know that the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and justice for the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks to your name. The upright shall dwell in your presence. Yes. Faith in the end. Thank you, David. Look, I can ask for all this, but I know ultimately God is on our side. His will be done. But we know that in his heart, God looks out for the afflicted and gets justice for the poor, and the righteous are thankful for that. A prayer for safekeeping from wickedness. All right, so Yex wanted me to put this little note here before I could put the kibosh on the pizza again. that message, the stop talking about pizza message. Before he left, he said, I got to go, but I wanted to say this about the next psalm. Psalm 141 was traditionally hymned in the temple during incense offerings and in traditional churches when the priest censes the people. Interesting. Well, let's get into it. Let's see why he might do that. Eggs on pizza? Ugh. Stop, I'm breaking my own rules. Cleopatra knows asps are poisonous? Yeah. Asps were in the tomb of Raiders of the Lost Ark, if I recall correctly. I just remember, I hate snakes. That's in The Last Crusade as well. Prayer for safekeeping from wickedness. Lord, I cry out to you. Make haste to me. Give ear to my voice when I cry out to you. Let my prayer be set before you as incense, the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Do not incline my heart to anything evil thing, to practice wicked works with men who work iniquity. And do not let me eat of their delicacies. Let the righteous strike me, it shall be a kindness. And let him rebuke me, it shall be as excellent oil. Let my head not refuse it. For my prayer is against the deeds of the wicked. Their judges are overthrown by the sides of the cliff. Let me start this over. For still my prayer is against the deeds of the wicked. Their judges are overthrown by the sides of the cliff, and they hear my words, for they are sweet. Our bones are scattered at the mouth of the grave, as when one plows and breaks up the earth. But my eyes are upon you, O God the Lord. In you I take refuge. Do not leave my soul destitute. Keep me from the snares keep me from the snares they have laid for me, and from the traps of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, while I escape safely. Based. Based. Um, Psalm starts out very similar to David's Psalms. God, I'm crying out to you. Come listen to me. Please listen to me and give my plea consideration because I am in need. Right? Let my prayer be set before you as incense, the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. This is me beseeching you. And I love this part. This one applies a lot to me as somebody who runs his mouth, who's somebody who is sarcastic, who's somebody who is argumentative and can be belittling and condescending and snarky. This is a psalm for me. Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Shut me up. Keep a watch over the doors of my lips. Maybe lock them, bar the door. Maybe be like Mr. Smith to Mr. Anderson at the beginning of the Matrix movie. How can you talk to a lawyer if you cannot speak? Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe that would be for the better. Do not incline my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men who work iniquity, and do not let me eat of their delicacies. This could be a prayer. This is a prayer here. Watch over me so I don't run my mouth and do stupid things, that I guard it, and that I don't give in to temptation, even if the men around me are doing it. Don't let me do the things that they're doing. He's not elevating himself above them. He wants his behavior to be different from the bad behavior that they are. And he's asking for God's help to do that, as we should as well. Do not let me eat of their delicacies. I think that's just, flowery metaphor for, sharing in their, and what they delight in as a result of their wicked works. No, Thad, stop it. Stop it. Don't make me tap the sign. Don't make me tap the sign. Serranos, read the sign. Welcome to the show. But read the sign. And here's the part for me as well. Let the righteous strike me, it shall be a kindness, and let him rebuke me, it shall be as excellent oil. Let my head not refuse it. Treat others as you would Treat others as you would treat yourself. Judge other, if you judge, you better be prepared to be judged in the same manner. Not sh- or more along the lines of you shouldn't judge. But when you do, expect to be for judgment to be passed upon you in the same way. Um the whole golden rule thing, if I am wrong, I want to be rebuked. I want you to tell me. You're wrong, Stuart. That what you did was wrong. What you said was wrong. How your behavior was out of line, and it was not what a Christian should do. I've been told in the past by friends, you say you're smart and what you say is right, but you do not know how to tell other people how to communicate that to people that you are disagreeing with. Do not know how to. And I have to say, emphatically, they're correct. And I don't know how to change it, but I'm glad that and I want people to kind of get in my way and go, stop. You're not helping things. Just because you're right doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. Just because you're right in your mind doesn't mean your behavior reflects that. If I'm wrong, I need to be rebuked. I want that Naismith there. I want that person to challenge me. And my wife does it. Sometimes she's right. Sometimes she's right, and I am being a jerk. From still my prayers against the deeds of the wicked, their judges are overthrown by the sides of the cliff, and they hear my words, for they are sweet. Yeah. I need to be rebuked, but that does not mean I still don't keep fighting and praying for evil to be met with God's wrath, God's justice, etc. And they hear my words, for they are sweet. Because I'm praying for God to take action against evil. Our bones are scattered at the mouth of the grave as when one plows and breaks up the earth. I don't know that reference there. I don't know what that I'm assuming that is some sort of another part of kind of like a poetic imagery that's trying to get there, but to what extent I don't know. But my eyes are upon you, O God the Lord, in you I take refuge. I do not leave my soul destitute, or as the footnote says, do not make my soul bare. Keep me from the snares they have laid for me and the traps of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall in their own nets while I escape safely. Watch over me. Guide me around sin. Guide me around folly, foolishness, evil, disobedience from you. Guide me around that. I know I'll be tempted, and I know that I'll gravitate towards it at times. I don't want to be there. Move me away from it. Take me away. Take that temptation away. Put some obstacle before me. Do whatever. Teach me a lesson. And that's our show tonight, guys. 2 really good Psalms again. 2 really good Psalms. And we'll continue this tomorrow. All right, so Serranos, Thad the Man, Alex, Veritax, Jenny, LJ. I hope that this chat and this episode and these readings, what we've discussed, has helped relax you, Help you unwind and desaturate from a day. Yex, who's already gone. Hope you have a good evening. Dresden, Texan Italian. Emmanuel Osorio. Lucy. All of you folks. Thank you. Thank you for your words, except for yours, Lucy, about pizza places and establishment and your foolish ranking of them. But thank you for your words. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for you laying your troubles down kind of on the table on your way in. I think that's a cool thing. I like that y'all do that. Hey, been a tough day. Glad to be here. Hey, dealing with stuff. Hey, my back hurts. Glad to be here. Hey, lost a pet today. Heart's heavy. Happy to be here. Let's talk about God. Hey, I had plumbing issues yesterday, and it was ticking me off, and I needed to relax. And relax yesterday, but I'm happy to be back here. Let's go. Hey, I'm sick of people saying that Little Caesars is bad pizza. It's good pizza. I don't want to hear about it. Stuff like that, guys. I'm glad that that's doing well. Right. Welcome, Blaine. Welcome. I'm glad that you guys are doing that. I think that's a great thing. And I think that's good for our own small group. Shut up, Serranos. Golly. Worst human being on the planet. If y'all don't know, me and Serranos get on each other's cases intentionally. It is a meme. It is not any actual ill will. It is just for the lulz. Serranos doesn't like anything anyway. But yeah. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And keep being here. Keep showing up. This is my encouragement. I like you guys being here. I want y'all to come be here. Careful. Careful, Serranos. For you blaspheme. To everybody who is not in the chat but listening, either can or won't participate in the chat, that's fine. I'm just glad that you've got something you can listen to, and that you continue to listen to it night in and night out. Come back and find it enjoyable. Like Jenny says, it's good after an evening or whatever. I just like hearing the words discussed. I just like hearing folks gather around and talk about the Bible and some of their and stupid stuff like pizza. It's not stupid. It's very important, but in the grand scheme of things, I just like that. Thank you for showing up. I'm glad that this is that kind of place for you. And to everybody on here who is catching this on replay, I'm sorry I missed you, and I hope to catch you live next time or soon. Everybody, plan is to stream tomorrow and close out the week with some more Psalms. Everybody have a good night, and God bless.